Right, so this is the story of the desert rats, and it says is they took their name from the jerboa, small desert animal of North Africa. The one thing I didn't know about the desert rats was that they only came to England for one short interlude, and that was in 1944 when they returned from the war in Italy to Thetford Forest to prepare for D-Day and the invasion of Normandy. And the reason was to re-equip the division with a Cromwell tank and to train with it. So they spent 5 months in the forest from January to May 1944. And I don't think they were too impressed. Someone said first thing that struck us was how gloomy it was. These nissen huts under dripping trees were hardly what we wanted on returning home. Yeah. But they were formed from the Cairo Brigade to protect the Suez Canal in 1938. So they fought in North Africa against Rommel and on to Berlin. So that's what we're doing. Just going to take the little walk. There's a load of little signposts. I think we go up that way, up there.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, so the second board is about the headquarters, and it says 2 miles to the northwest was Didlington Hall. That was Didlington Hall, now demolished. It says it was requisitioned as the operational headquarters of the divisional and brigade officers and their staff under the command of Major General G.W.R. Bobby Erskine. During the early years of the 20th century, it had been regarded as one of the best sporting estates in England, visited by the King and Queen and renowned for the brilliance of its weekend parties. 1948 reunion there. The officers travelled to camps at Shakerswood, High Ash, Cockley Clay in jeeps and staff cars, and there was a senior and a junior officers mess at the hall. This was actually High Ash, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is High Ash.
This is actually High Ash, so this would have been one of the camps.
Yeah.
And it just goes on a little bit. We had little real social life in the officers' mess, so we followed the discipline of peacetime, involved waiting in the commanding officer's convenience. And sometimes they managed to arrange a 4-course dinner. They did break away to have dinner at a local pub, and they had a regimental dance, and they held a regimental dance at Oxborough Hall, the moated home of Lady Bedingfield, which hopefully we'll be going to tomorrow.
Yeah.
They were never again to meet in this way. Too many crossed the Normandy beaches and never saw home again. There was King George the Sixth entertained in the officers' mess at Didlington Hall. Huh. Well, so this board is all about their daily routine. I'm standing here in 1944. Daily routine of the army camp would have been going on all around you. It's a bit like that thing we said about the life in the day in the life of the Tommy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 6 AM wash and shave, return to hut, fold, dress bedding, clean equipment. Breakfast at 7 to 8 AM, scrambled eggs, sausage, fried eggs, sausages, scrambled eggs, baked beans, toast, jam, marmalade. Carry breakfast to mess hall. So first parade at 8 AM, inspecting the tank park, duties allocated, gunnery, wireless training, collection of vehicles and tanks from depots, days of field training, mock battles, living on rations, route marches of 10 miles or more, and you're worried about two. March to cookhouse, collect main meal and eat in the mess at noon, meat and 2 veg. Continuation duties or football, rugby and cricket. 5 PM off duty, a guard duty of 2 hours throughout the night, and 6 PM to 11:15 prepare uniforms and kit for next day. Spend time in naffy playing cards or individual huts. Didn't sound too bad, did it?
No.
That was Trooper Dennis Hewitt painting the tank. Go on there, pups. Might spot some deer, pups. We did the other day. I spot another dog. Very quiet in here. Yeah, so it says across the road from where we're standing was the cookhouse, the mess hut and the medical hut. It says after collecting his meal, typical example shown on the right here, each soldier went to sit at a trestle table in the mess hut. And the supplies came from Central Army depots and brought in lorries to High Farm, Didlington, where they were distributed. Cookhouse was staffed by regimental cooks supervised by Army Catering Corps personnel. All British Army regiments in active service have a doctor on permanent attachment. During World War II, the doctor and his medical staff, usually members of the regiment trained by the doctor, would accompany the regiment at all times, include setting up medical rooms when in camp, operating as normal GP, or operating close to the front line when in action. An armoured half-track shown there would be used to treat the wounded and sick soldiers, returning them to duty or passing them to base hospitals for further treatment. Are you two alright there?
I'm wrestling with her because someone's left half a sandwich
Oh right, that's nice of them.
and she's after it.
You're not having someone else's mouldy sandwich. Come on.
Come on.
Go on, go this way. Yeah, I'm on.
Circling round it.
Yeah. So here was the accommodation. So there's the uncovered base of one of the Nissan huts. There was standard army accommodation and prefabricated buildings of corrugated steel of a half cylinder, designed by Peter Norman Nissan. I thought it was something to do with Japan, but obviously not. And a British Army officer and a mining engineer. They were in 3 different widths depending on their use. The living quarters for troops were 20 feet wide and had windows and doors at each end. Condensation was a problem because of the lack of insulating material. The floors were either concrete or large paving slabs. Each Nissan hut housed up to 18 people, and clothes were stored under 2-tier bunks with their gas mask, overcoat, kit bag and any personal possessions. Now I remember Nissan huts because I used to go to what was Post Office Telecommunications training camp at Stone, and they still had Nissan huts that was there from the ex-army base. So some of the lectures were held in Nissan huts.
Yeah, yeah.
They did eventually do away with them. So there's obviously the base of one here. Pity they couldn't leave one here, wasn't it? You still see Nissan huts about, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, people use them as garages and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Concrete bases of the Nissan huts remain within the forest area, and their layout had been mapped by John Cracknell, who was a civilian worker on the camp during the time the Desert Rats were in occupation. Yeah. And I think a lot of the concrete in some of the campsites that we stay at is from previous Nissan huts. I'm thinking of Mildenhall.
Mildenhall was, definitely.
Yeah.
They said that it was like the main building.
Yeah.
Because there was a pitch up there, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a pitch on one of the concrete bases, wasn't there?
I think we went up there once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the museum.
Yeah, which I think is closed at the moment.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? Desert Rats Museum. Yeah, so this would have been the NAFI. These are the concrete bases of the 2 Nissan huts which house the NAFI, the Navy, Army and Air Force Institute, with the stores building to the left. This was the place where the other ranks, from trooper to corporal, could spend their off-duty hours. Beer, soft drinks, tea and cakes provided, table tennis, darts, cards. NAFI women staff were trained as members of the Auxiliary Territorial Services, the ATS, and were subject to the same military discipline as the men. Civilians from the local village of Munford and Falden also worked in the canteen. At the weekend, 3-ton lorries lined up at the camp gates to take soldiers to Brandon, Thetford, Swaffham, Kings Lynn, Norwich, Newmarket, Cambridge, depending on demand. But they had to return by midnight unless a special pass had been granted. We stood in the back of 3-ton trucks hanging onto the steel frame that supported the canvas cover, lurching from side to side as the truck sped along the roads. Weekends we regularly went into Kingsley, which was then an old country town. The cinemas and pubs were overcrowded with troops. Recalls Staff Sergeant Tom Harland, who was awarded the military medal and given the rank of lieutenant on the battlefield while commanding Little Audrey, which we saw
at the entrance.
At the entrance when we arrived here. Very good. And such a pity we can't go in the museum. Assume it is locked. But this is the Desert Rats Museum. Maybe we'll be able to come back one day. Yeah. Danger MOD, keep out. So this is about the Cromwell tank and the Remy. So that each regimental location tanks were positioned in tank parks. Cromwell tanks have been made in the factories of Birmingham Railway Carriage and Wagon Company, and then by Leyland fitted with Rolls-Royce Meteor engines, which were actually modified Merlin Spitfire engines. Delivery to this camp began on the 1st of February, and so the Desert Rats was the first service unit to take Cromwell tanks into action on Gold Beach, Normandy, 6th of June 1944. Someone said learning to drive them took time for the overestimated number of revs to deal with the inertia of 27 tonnes moving off. We had trouble with clutch plates until the Rolls engineers told us that 600 brake horsepower provided plenty of power at idling revs. All we had to do was let the clutch out and give it the gun and roar away. The tank sailed across country with a gentle motion and motored along like a private car. And Trooper L.J. Dinning is convinced that the acceleration and exceptional speed of the Cromwell saved him and his fellow crew members during enemy attacks, and cannot remember a single mechanical breakdown due to engine failure. They gave all the tanks a name, and Little Audrey laughed and laughed. That's the tank down there. It was hit several times by anti-tank weapons and survived the war, but a bazooka attack on the 26th of September, the tank commander Sergeant A. Davis and the wireless operator Corporal A. Glenson were killed. We had to waterproof them for D-Day. We had to clean every joint in the armour, scouring the paint from the steel before wiping down with Bostik cleaner. The joints were then sealed with Bostik, squeezed from the tube in long snakes. A large steel trunk was fitted at the back of the tank to allow the engine exhaust to vent free. The turret was fixed and it was ready to make its way into 6 feet of water.
You needed a wireless operator in the tanks as well then?
Yeah.
Well as up in the planes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So I think that's it. Oh, mind you, there's a sign over there though.
Yeah, but that's just for a walk, I think.
Well, that's what we're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, but we also had a Desert Rat symbol, didn't we?
Oh, is it? Right, okay.
I think that's the end of that bit.
Yeah, that takes you up into the walk to High Ash. Do you want to go up there?
We'll go up there a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the bit of a walk that takes you round in a loop. Following the yellow signs now. No, it's very pleasant. We'll have to jump over that tree.
Yeah.
Manage it, Pops? Oh, just about. Poppy spotted a squirrel. Didn't you? I think it's gone now. There will be 1 or 2 squirrels in here, Pops, I should think.
Just a few.
Come on. Come on. Yes, I think Poppy would chase squirrels until one of them got tired.
We could lose her in here, couldn't we?
Easily lose her in here. There's a strong sort of hunter instinct in Poppy. I mean, they were bred for ratting, weren't they, originally?
Yeah. And for rabbits.
Oh, and rabbits, yeah.
Mainly.
Yeah. Go on, Pops. Yes, you're a killer, aren't you? I was just saying when I was with the post office, they used to have their training in Nissan huts.
Yes, yeah.
You alright being filmed, are you?
Oh, you're fine, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I tried to go down that bottom way where them farm buildings were, but it says no public access.
Oh, right.
I looked on Google Maps and that was like a back way to the village.
Yeah, yeah.
Next village down.
Okay.
Munford.
Munford, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we got fish and chips last night.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
Now we're here with Ian Shaw. Oh, Ian Shaw's here with us.
Yes, yes.
One of the two.
Hello, everybody.
And Motorhome Fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
Motorhome Fun, yes.
Yeah.
On Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook.
Facebook,
Yeah.
Motorhome in Happiness.
That's it. Yeah. I think it's warming up now.
Yes, it's going to be real hot Monday and Tuesday, they keep saying.
Yeah. We're keeping Poppy on the lead in case anyone's wondering, because she shot off into the undergrowth. And if we hadn't had her on a lead, I think she'd be up a tree by now. She's a real squirrel chaser.
Oh, Sky's the same, she's in and out of the woods, but that's why I got the whistle to just...
Oh, does she? You comes back on
she'll
that?
come back on the whistle.
Yeah. Come on, pups. Yeah, that's it for this little video. So that's been a good walk, that. It brings you out near the entrance, isn't it? We're not quite on the entrance, but whoop. It looks like there's an old camp here, doesn't there? Yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, remember to subscribe, and we'll catch up with you in the next one. And the next one we're going to, is it Oxborough Hall?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Oxborough or Oxburgh, I think it's Oxborough. Oh, God, nice sun. Yeah, so I'll catch up with you later.